Hey guys, this is Jace with MarineMax St. Petersburg, Florida. Today we're going to be demonstrating how to install the flush port quick connects for the Flushmaster system on your standard V8, V6 Mercury. So on the standard Yamaha, even the Mercury V10, the L6, the installation is going to be pretty simple as far as being able to do it with the cowling off. But on these V6, V8 models, you kind of have some tight clearance. So I always recommend removal of the cowling. It helps with ease of installation and also avoiding any mistakes. So everything you need for the installation is going to be included in the kit, including this wrench for tightening down the cap, and this also has a flathead for tightening the hose clamp. But I always recommend having a 1/4 inch socket, 6mm, some flush cuts to cut the zip tie off the existing hose, hose cutters just to cut the hose. You can use a pair of dikes as well, and then I have a flathead for the hose clamp as well. So we all know on these V8, V6s, sometimes these pan caps for your basic flush operation can be a pain to get out. This one seems to be coming out with ease. If you do have trouble to where you can't remove it, as long as you protect the side chap paint, you can use a pair of pliers and kind of twist it and pull it out. You're going to be discarding this cap at the end of the installation anyway, so it's fine. Again, we're going to start with the removal of the cap for the existing fitting. What you're going to have to do then is you're going to have to cut this zip tie using a pair of flush cuts or dikes. We're going to have to pry this fitting off the hose, discard of the ring or the lanyard, and we can begin the installation process of the quick connect fitting. So if you're not sure about where to cut the hose, or you don't see this existing kink in the line, you can also put this fitting through the hole and kind of get an idea where you need to cut that hose by lining it up right next to the fitting, and then mark it with your finger, a Sharpie, a piece of tape, pull the line back out, and that's where you're going to make your cut. So now that we made the cut, remember you want to have your hose clamp on first so you don't have to get it on there later. I normally have it facing up on the hose so I can get a flathead or a socket on there. And I like to apply a little bit of soapy water. You can use grease, you can use whatever you want as a lubricant, and that's just going to help with the ease of sliding this fitting on. So now that we have the hose slid up on the fitting, I like to put a kink in the line and shove in the remaining bit of the fitting so you get a flush fit right here. And then you can align your hose clamp, tighten that up, perform a couple test fits, which I'll go through that process. So we don't want to go extremely tight on the hose clamp. You just want to get a good, nice, tight fit on the hose and the fitting. And then once you have it all connected, this is where I come in and I do a couple test fits. Again, it seems to line up almost perfect. There's no kink in the line if you take a look in here. And then you even have enough access if you need to service it to get back to that same hose clamp, replace the fitting if you need to. And it also makes just a little bit more ease for getting the cap on during the installation process. So the final step can be performed right outside the flush port. That's where we're going to actually put the quick connect fitting on. So we thread it onto the collar. So once the fitting's on, you'll see here on these Mercuries that there are slots for the alignment tabs on the top and bottom, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. That's where we're going to line these right there. And you can use the tool provided in the kit to get your last little rotation on there. Now it's going to rotate till it stops. You don't have to go any tighter. That just means it's locked in place. So after completing all those steps, your Flushmaster quick connect fitting is fully installed and ready for use. Go ahead and thread our quick connect fitting onto our dock hose with a twist and pull. We have the cap off the male end, and you simply just press on the hose and you're ready to flush. After our 15-minute flush on each engine, we're going to pull back on the collar and remove the hose, put the cap on, and twist to lock into place. Right now we're going to go over the similarities and differences between the two caps, factory cap that comes with the engine and the Flushmaster Quick Connect. So we're going to start off with the differences between the two. Again, main difference is the ease of operation that comes with flushing your engine when you get the Quick Connect fitting from Flushmaster. The factory ones that come with the engine are a little bit of a pain to get out sometimes, and you don't have that quick function of connecting a hose in a second. The main thing you're going to see as a similarity between the two are there are holes on both the Flushmaster cap and the Mercury factory cap. Now what that hole is for is pretty much an indication of a failed check valve on the plumbing of the flushing system. So normally if you're running and there's no water coming out, that's indicating you have a good check valve. If you're running the engine and you see water weeping out of either one of these holes, it's going to be an indicator that the check valve has failed, and that's actually some of your raw water backfeeding through the hose. So in summary, the Flushmaster Quick Connect fitting pretty much just makes your life simpler. It's a lot quicker to flush your engine, a lot less of a headache, and it also falls in line with the same guidelines that Mercury applies on their factory cap, where you can see if a check valve has failed or not through that weep